Evening, everyone. It's 5:44 on Thursday afternoon, the 22nd, Earth Day, actually. And this is video number 725 for Thursday evening closing comments. On the news side, we had claims, because it's Thursday. We had continuing claims, 3.67 million versus 3.708, and we had initial claims again below the 600,000 number, 547,000 versus last week's 576. We also had leading economic indicators, which were up 1.3%, but I want to make mention of the fact that they revised February down. So we went from up 0.2 to down 0.1. It's not really the size of the number, but it did end a 9-month in a row increase in leading economic indicators. We also had existing home sales down 3.7%, again because of lack of supply, certainly not for lack of demand. Market was about unchanged after being sloppy this morning, right up until good old President Biden came out with an announcement about raising the capital gains tax to 43.4%, raising taxes on high-income individuals, and putting back a 3.8% tax that was originally in Obamacare. To give you an idea of just how bad that is, it would raise in the neighborhood of $1 trillion over a decade, all from the top earners. If you want to see the market lose investor interest, just make capital gains 43% and see what happens. And you will see between that and a reopening where interest rates are clearly going to move higher, if you want to see stagflation a la President Ford, just vote for it. Honestly, I really don't want to be political about it, and it's awfully early to be talking about midterm elections. But if you want to see, if they want to see, the Democrats want to see a loss of more seats in Congress and the Senate, keep raising taxes and making it more and more difficult for people to be investors. Okay, we had a bunch of earnings today, and telephone with a beat was up this morning about $1, finished up $1.25 or 4.2%. What was interesting was that Lam Research also beat, and this morning the stock was down $1.28, and that only got worse all day. It actually finished 614.54, down 26.71 after being down, as I said, $1.28 this morning near the open. Intel had earnings this afternoon, beat top and bottom. The stock, which has had, a nice rally here, up to, the mid-60s, actually closed at 62.57, down $1.13, and then after the earnings continued lower is currently trading 61.37, down 2.33 or 3.7. Mattel went the other way with a beat, even though they had a loss for earnings, and the stock had closed at $20.88, up 3 cents, traded up as high as $22.71, and last is right near the high, $22.62, up $1.77 or 8.5%. Snap also beat top and bottom. It was down $1.36 at the close and currently is trading $4 higher at $59.83, up $2.78 net change on the day, 4.8%. Dow Chemical beat, was unchanged this morning. When the market tanked today, it finished the day $60.93, down almost $4, 6%. And Equifax, which also beat top and bottom, had a huge day, 221.41, up 28.78, 15%. And then after the close, Sam Adams, Boston Beer, symbol SAM, beat top and bottom. It had actually closed 1,246, down 922, traded as high as 1369.99. So a solid $120, $123 higher. And the last was 1348. That was a net change of up 84.78, but from the close at 4 o'clock to where it's trading now, it's actually up 102. It was pretty ugly in the averages, nothing overwhelming, and in fact, this is the closest that I've seen all three major averages trade. The Dow was down 321.94. The NASDAQ was down 131.94, and the S&P was down 3844.92. So we were pretty much in line. What I found interesting was that the NASDAQ, down just under 1%, was actually 1-to-1 on the advanced declines, and volume was lower. And the Dow was about 1.4, 1.5-to-1 down. So the Dow got hurt a little more. And when you see stocks like Dow with a beat top and bottom go down, 6%, that's to be expected. The big disappointment for me today was the gold. I've been talking about this for a while, and it's really been difficult. I mentioned it this morning, and while I do like it as a long, and it has a nice uptrend here, it really can't put a bunch of days together where you can feel like, you're trading a trend. So today it was down $11. Yesterday it was up $14.70. The day before it was up $7. The day before that it was down 10, up 13, up 30, down, up, down, up, down, up. It's really difficult, and so that's a little bit of a disappointment, although today's action was actually an inside day, not by much. Yesterday's high was 1798.40. Today's high was 1798.10. So 30 cents on an $1,800 commodity. And yesterday's low was 1776.60. Today's low was 1777.10. So, a half a dollar higher low and literally pennies lower high. So we'll see what's going on there. Bitcoin has gotten pounded mercilessly. Frankly, I think it's coming into an area of very strong support, and it shows as a low today of 91,550 with a close there. I actually had the close at 52.86, down 27.50. What's interesting here is, and I've mentioned it before, what's interesting here is the dichotomy between the contrast of Ethereum to Bitcoin. So there's an Ethereum trust, ETHE, which made a new all-time high today, closed barely higher, up 34 cents as the last, because this is actually still trading. But as you can see, or maybe you can't, I had the old high at 25.12. 22, and today's high was actually 26.53. GBTC, which is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, we still have some of this. And let's just change that. It never made a new high. And in matter of fact, this high is 58 and a quarter. Today's close was 41.32. That's $17 lower. And by the way, that $17 is 29%. So Bitcoin is 29% below its high, the Bitcoin Trust, when the Ethereum Trust was making a new high today, new all-time high today. Ethereum right now is trading for about 2,400, and that's down about 1%, whereas Bitcoin is substantially lower and has been lower all day. So we'll see how that shakes out. All right, everyone. I'm going to get to working on tonight's daily note, and I'll be back first thing in the morning. Don't forget, hit subscribe and hit that notification. I'm going to be putting out a bulletin tomorrow on it. Have a good evening.